Hey boys and girls out there, how you doing, man? All right, are you getting some insight into how you tick, the things you do and don't do that you maybe should or shouldn't? We're digging into this is the deep stuff, we're talking about here. This is doesn't get any deeper than parents divorcing and depression and all the struggles that we go through. But this is all about our pilots. The pilots that we are of our own lives. Okay, and so if you're doing this workshop, this program, and this course, and you're getting tired, you can stand up and you stretch, take some deep breaths. Yeah, give yourself a little breathing room here. So because this is stuff that really gets us burning and thinking and working. And I'm taking time to dig into this stuff, so it's not just a real burn through it real quick, la-di-da, quick fix. So it's so easy, just do this and buy another course, all this kind of thing. This is the real deal, man. So thank you for hanging in there and getting this far. This is good. This is great. So we're now moving on to module 3. Module 3 is where we're at now, gang, and we're going to be looking at all these parts of the puzzle that is our minds and our hearts. Definitions and changing feelings. What is that about? Because what did our definition of success mean? That may be something that is getting in the way of our success, because we have some understanding that successful people are greedy or mean or taking advantage of those less fortunate. We may have a definition of success that's not serving us, because success has many meanings, and it's not always about money. In fact, it's, to me, more about serving others and being a blessing and not a curse to folks. And then our changing feelings, because through this process of building our lives, piloting our lives, improving our pilot skills, as it were, we change, our mind and hearts change and develop. And there's also setbacks and things that can hit us in the gut. And then we have an emotional response, because we're emotional beings. So what does that mean, changing feelings? Chapter 6, that was chapter 5, definitions and changing feelings. Chapter 6 is what others think about loving what we do. That's really interesting. I want to look at that and see what other people think about it. I did a little survey, as you'll see as you read through this module, that I asked questions of people that are following me on YouTube and others, those who've got some of my content, and I have their email. So I sent an email and said, what do you love to do? Are you doing what you love? What else would you like to do if you're not? And so I got some feedback, and so that has explained chapter 6, which is really interesting. And you read the summary about that, and I'll skim through this here real quick. Chapter 7, superpower, is what I alluded to earlier. Honesty, integrity, positive values, forgiveness, and gratitude. You get really good at forgiveness and gratitude, you guys, you're going to be a happy soul. Stuff happens to us. People are mean. People, disappoint us. People, even worse than that. We can get abused and neglected and just, it's not all horrible, but sometimes it can be very horrible. And so, God bless you if you've been through the meat grinder of life and you've been through some of these horrible, worse kind of scenarios. But you're here and you're listening to me, and so you've gone through that, and good for you. That's not always easy to do, and not everybody does, as we know. So God bless you for that. But getting back to the superpower, our honesty, our integrity, our positive values, forgiveness and gratitude, the forgiveness of those who've harmed us, and that includes forgiving ourselves for getting in the way of our own success, needs to happen. When we don't forgive others, we're taking poison pills hoping it kills them or makes them suffer, like they made us suffer, let's say. It doesn't serve us to hold on to unforgiveness. It just doesn't. It's sort of a poison that we are poisoning our lives with, and bitterness. Those are things that just aren't good for us to hang on to. We move through the process when we're injured and hurt, but we don't want to turn it into a lifestyle and a life attitude or a mindset, as we talked about earlier in earlier chapters. Okay, gratitude is just a gift out of the blue that everybody can do. It's hard in a way. Sometimes life is horrible and hard. I had to go on dialysis for 29 months, and forgive me if I repeat myself, but I've spent 29 months on dialysis because my kidneys were shot. I got polycystic kidney disease, and it took care of them after about 50 years. So I got 40, 50 years out of them. My mom had it, and two of my siblings have that as well. They both had kidney transplants and are doing okay. So I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for the amazing miracle of Western medicine as it is today, on the positive side. And so real good to get good at that stuff. So superpowers they have to do with our character essentially. Chapter 5, we'll just dig in here and I'll chat about that. Definitions and changing feelings. So that is about what things mean. Like I mentioned a moment ago, what does success mean? Is it something you'd want to be? And is it just about money? Or is it about people saying, hey, you blessed me, man, by what you made. If it's a thing, you brought me joy. You brought me a sense of peace. Or if it was a service, you made life easier for me. So hearing that is the most coolest thing ever. And I love it when I get that kind of feedback from my clients and customers and people and family and friends, because I was able to listen maybe and offer an encouraging word. So we can be a blessing or curse to others, and we should strive to be blessings. It seems fairly obvious. And so those things need to be identified. How are we defining stuff? If we think we're failures, well, it's because we're defining failure a certain way. In fact, maybe we have overcome quite a bit, and we are very successful in many of the ways that are important. We didn't give up. We hung in there, and even if we made mistakes and dropped the ball and didn't quite do as good as we would like to have done, we're still here. I mean, you're listening to me, and you're willing to invest in a course, and a lot of people don't do that. They just stay stuck in their stuckness, if you will. So we've got those definitions we have to clarify and be clear on. Changing feelings, like I mentioned, things change. And they adjust and adapt, and how that happens is critical to whether or not we're being blessed and benefited by that process of changing feelings, or is it just where we're sliding back into old coping skills that we developed when we were kids that maybe served us when we were 9, 10, or 11 years old, but they don't serve us as adults, young adults or old adults, or what have you. So we want to be aware of that. I didn't mention it, but there's little white stars I put throughout this course. If you see one on the page when you're scrolling through this course in the written content, pay attention to that. That's really an important point I'm trying to emphasize with that little star. And you can see in this first page of definitions and changing feelings, chapter 5, that's about gratitude. And like I've emphasized already. So you move through that process, expect challenges, and then that sets us up, when you do that right, to make a living doing what we love. And that has to be successful. That has got to be something that is blessing other people. It's helping them in some fashion. It's entertaining them. It's giving them a break from the struggles of life, because you make beautiful music or art or crafts work, or you're a person who's a good listener, and you can be a consultant or counselor and that kind of thing. So it's a worksheet number 6, it looks like, or I got to get my cheaters because I can't see it on my chapter. Worksheet 8. There we go. We're moving through the worksheets. How about that? So you want to go and look at that. What's our definition of success? As I pointed out, that's not always something that, in fact, is something people want to be, because their understanding of it is a negative one. And there's a lot of negative information pumped out about people who are successful being bad or greedy or rich, and they had to climb on the backs of others to get to be successful. And that's most often not the case. Most people are successful because they provided something that people liked, wanted, and needed, and more people bought more of it. And most of the very well-off clients that I've had are nice people. They're normal. They are not. I haven't had any that were weird, and seemed like the rich stereotype of selfish and greedy and insensitive and all that. No, I haven't met people like that. They've been great people. I think they just have more zeros behind their tax bill than I do. That's okay. That's okay. But anyway, you can look through this worksheet number 8. Positive results, negative results of success. How to have a healthy balance in your life. So you want to be successful, but don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay, you made $1 million this year, but where's your kids? Do you have kids? Do you have a wife? Remember them? Yeah. Okay. Don't forget your family. It's super easy to do, be an entrepreneur. And I think I'm going to talk more about this in the course as it moves forward. But don't want to forget about them. But look at that worksheet number 8. Get that little mini poster, print that puppy out, do the affirmation. The affirmation sort of seemed silly and dumb in my earlier years when I was doing workshops. Let's say this happy thing. Okay, well, you know what? Actually, it does make a difference. There's also a principle of act as if. So act as if life is good, even if it isn't. Because a lot of times your body movements, your physicality, the way you hold your face, more muscles. I think it's more muscles to make a frown than make a smile or something, like that. It impacts how you think. Your body sometimes will follow, your mind will follow how your body movement is, and vice versa too. So get that little mini poster out there.